I don't know how many of you read my book, Behold a Pale Horse. I would assume that at least some of you have. In there, I made a statement. I started to say, for which I was ridiculed and chastised and called a nut, but I was called a nut and ridiculed and chastised for everything that I wrote in that book. A lot of which has come true already. Well, another one has come true. Remember I said that in the book that the New World Order would consider violence or violent tendencies or people who commit violent crimes to be in possession of a specific gene. That the New World Order considered violence to be genetic. And in order to get rid of anybody who has any violent tendencies whatsoever so that they will ensure their safety from rebellion of the herd. I don't know why they're worried about the herd. The herd never does anything. They don't have to worry about the herd. It's the smart people who are doers that they have to worry about. But I wrote in that book that the New World Order, the utopian socialists consider violent tendencies to be genetic. And that they would identify people who have these violent tendencies and they would collect their genealogies, and sometime in the future all of these people are just going to be wiped out right off the face of the earth. And that they would be collecting genetic samples and genealogies. Well, everybody said, "You're nuts, they're never going to do this." Well, I wasn't nuts, and I'm not nuts. What I said was absolutely correct. It's true. Did you know that the government has been taking genetic samples, gene samples, tissue samples of convicted murderers and sex offenders for a long, long time? Even ones who are in prison forever and can't possibly get out. Did you know that now Janet Reno wants to collect genetic samples, tissue samples, from every person who is ever arrested, whether they are convicted or not? And most people who are arrested are never convicted of anything. And probably most of those are innocent and didn't commit any crime to begin with. This is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. You can look for a law sometime in the future that will mandate that doctors take tissue samples and turn them in to these genetic databases on anybody who has any kind of contagious disease. And they'll say that the reason is to find out if there is a predisposition to contagious diseases, and they want to have this on a database so that they can know what segment of the population is going to be infected by swine flu in the year 2020, etc., etc., etc. You watch. It's going to happen. Just like what I wrote in my book years and years and years ago.